Oh, we could fly.
Welcome to this new season of the Have a Cup of Jahani podcast. So, I want to title this new season that I'm embarking on with I'm Growing. So, this is going to be the season of growth. And that's what I'm going to share with you throughout the season. So, I thank you for coming over here and sitting with me. And I hope you enjoy. Hello, everyone. Today, we are going to talk about purpose and your why and how to find that. Are y'all ready? I know this is a new change. We've been talking about love is blind, and other things like that, but we're going to change it up a little bit. Don't you worry. If you like those conversations about relationships and love, there are a few more on my schedule to talk about, so they'll be coming up later. But for today, it's going to be about purpose. Are you ready? 3 seconds. All right, 1, 2, 3. Let's get into it. All right. So it was a while back, long time ago. This was pre-COVID. Let me just tell you this story. Storytelling. It's my thing. I gotta do it. So a long time ago in a galaxy far away, joking. No, a long time ago, pre-COVID, I was heavily in Instagram, currently more heavily involved on TikTok until they took it away. But, I'm hanging on there. And I saw this post, and I used to follow a lot of writers and writing adjacent accounts and poets and all this stuff and writing coaches and so forth, right? And I happened to come across this post. And also, I have to say, this was before I started writing, before I started being serious about that and not just looking at it as something, that was a dream. Yeah, it's not happening, whatever. And in this post, it detailed how one can go about figuring out, one, if what they're doing is their life purpose, and how to figure out your why as well, why you do the things that you do, if they happen to be your purpose. So it's like twofold, right? Is what you're doing your purpose, and why is that your purpose? So that's how I found my passion, and I'll be sharing that with you today. So when I saw that post, I decided to go ahead and give it a try. Why not? And on the post, it detailed that you have to ask yourself out loud. So to find some time where you're not judging yourself harshly, where you have some privacy and you feel comfortable within your own skin, kind of like your mood needs to be aligned and your environment needs to be aligned as well when you're doing this. So that was one of the things that the post said. And then the post also said to ask yourself why. So once you determine what is your life purpose, right? And you can have like several things on your list that you may think is your life's purpose. And just ask yourself out loud why. And every time you give yourself an answer, ask yourself why again about that answer that you just gave. And it's said to do this until you have an emotional reaction. So let me tell you how that happened for me. So when I gave it a try, with writing, because I've known for quite a long time, since I was a young person, that writing is something that I like to do. And it's also something that I have a certain knack for it, a talent for it. So I knew that it was in my wheelhouse. However, I haven't invested the time at that time. I hadn't invested the time into developing that, nurturing that, if you may. But I knew that writing was in my future a long time ago. I had put it there. So I asked myself, why? Why when it came to writing? And I can sense inside of me that it was like this just rumbling of emotions. And I can equate it to like a rock being moved, a very heavy rock, right? Being moved away from a cave and then just looking within into that cave, like the Easter story, right? And because there was a lot of rumbling in my heart and in my soul. And mind you, I'm in a quiet room because that's what the post is saying, to do this when you have quiet, you're by yourself, so that way you can just let go of any anxiety or judgment you may have. And soon enough, when I got to the end of the why, it was like this cry that originated like from deep in my belly, that it was just, it made the most horrible of sounds. And it was quite alarming, if you may. And I am feeling all these things, and I have completely forgotten what I'm doing because I'm more in tune with what the emotions that I'm feeling, how it feels like I'm about to die, because it's like I haven't cried this ugly since during that time, right? I have since then cried very ugly, like you can ask my therapist. But back then, I hadn't cried like that, and it alarmed me. But it was just this this thing that just kind of like erupted from inside of me, and then just bubbled up, bubbled up, bubbled up until it was like this horrible sound it was like those cries that you see at funerals, where it hurts to see it, where it hurts to feel it. And that's how I felt. And what I tapped into was the the loneliness and the anxiety that I had. And I'm getting emotional just thinking about it. The loneliness and anxiety that I had as a child, and that I had as a child that just immigrated into a country that they know nothing about, that they didn't know the language, that it was just completely foreign to them. I tapped into that moment. And I remember vividly, because I couldn't afford books. I I come from a very poor background, so there was no books in the home. Come on now, we couldn't afford it. It was food or books, so food it was. So, but I will go to the library, and I will go to my school library or to the library right there in Worcester, and I would get books. And I remember when I asked that last why, that just emitted this horrible, ugly cry from me. I had remember that night where I felt really alone. And I remember grabbing my book that I had gotten out from the library. And I remember like being in this dark closet that I used to sleep in, and opening that book and just feeling so content, like finding some sort of peace and normalcy in my life, because I didn't have that as a child. And that book became my light. And it wasn't just that book, it was all the books that I read when I was a child. I was able to escape. I was able to find a better world. I was able to kind of like just hide from where I was at. And on my last why, that was what I tapped into. It was that memory, which in turn helped me to understand two things: that writing was the thing that can give me a purpose in life, and also the reason why writing can give me that purpose. And it was because I knew that there were other kids out there, just like me back then, that turned to books for a way to cope, for a way to find some enjoyment, to find some peace, to be seen, find visibility in a world where they may feel like they're an oddball out, like there's no one like them. Now, once I found my why, it prompted me to go deeper, because I thought about it. I was like, okay, so my intrinsic motivation is to bring some joy, into people's life, to help them be seen, to help them feel like they're not alone in who they are and how where they lay in this pyramid of this society in the United States. And I wanted to know if there were other things out there that can bring me this sense of purpose along with writing. So I started volunteering and doing things around my community just to see if it's if that will bring me purpose, right? If it's more than just writing, if it's just me giving to others. And what I found was that in addition to writing, if I'm in a position or a place, or if I have or tap into the opportunity to help other people, I did it in a food bank, and I've done it church gatherings and helping people clean their house. And it's just like different little things, right? That I could do with my time and sometimes with my money as well to help other people. And that also gave me a sense of purpose, and it gave me a sense of joy. And I think it's because in my brain, I'm equating that as also providing some sort of service to somebody who needs it. And I think in all, from doing this exercise, I found that um, I feel completed. I feel fulfilled when I give something back, when I feel like my actions have helped somebody positively, when I've made a difference in someone's life. And I think understanding that, it helps me to understand why I'm also still in the army right now, even though I'm like 21 years in. And I think it's because of that. Having done this exercise and understanding that I'm a person that gets joy, that gets a kick out of helping others, I find myself still here because I feel that I still have a purpose. I'm still in a position where I can help others. And when that happens, it makes everything, the long meetings, the not so good behavior from others, it makes everything worthwhile, and it makes me forget the bad moments. I'm not going to lie. And I think that's why I'm still here, because those little sprinkles of when I do something for somebody and I can tell that I have positively impacted them or help them, those moments, even though they're sometimes far in between, they give me such a burst. And it's like I equate it to Mario getting those little mushrooms that make him bigger or make him faster. That's literally how I feel. So, so volunteering, writing, and sharing that with others and helping people in whatever form that I can, whether it's through Facebook by giving them some resources or some knowledge maybe they didn't know, or cheering them on. I mean, it doesn't have to be like something as rigorous as the food bank. The food bank is rigorous, but please go do it. It's such a fulfilling thing to do. For me, it was so fulfilling. I loved it. I worked like half a day there, but it was amazing. In the food bank in El Paso, the Fighting Hunger Food Bank, I encourage everyone to go and do at least a shift there. It's amazing. But even rigorous stuff like that, like I came home just happy with a smile on my face. And then I told my son, I was like, we're doing it together because you need to feel this joy. I don't know. I'm hoping, since I raise him, and I don't think I raise an asshole, that hopefully he gets a kick out of helping people as well. I think he does. But we will see, right? We will see, because he's his own person after all. But if you're curious about finding your purpose, or trying to see if you are on the right path, I highly suggest do that exercise, kind of like how I did it. Find that quiet spot, find the right time within your environment where you can be as alone as you can be. I know there's some single parents out there where you can be at a place or a time during your day where you're the least judgmental for yourself, because sometimes we are our worst critic. And I say the least judgmental because you gotta be able to allow yourself to feel something. while you're doing this exercise, because that is your gut. That is your heart and soul telling you what path you should be on. And that's why I say try to be in a time, place within your day where you have the least judgment on yourself. So that way you can feel everything that you're supposed to feel, and don't shun any of these feelings. Just allow yourself to feel them. So that way you can see if you are on the right path or what that path might be, and have a list of things that you're good at and things that you find joy in doing. I told this to my son when we was talking about majors and what he wants to do in life after he graduates from college. I was like, do those circle diagrams. I'm sorry, I don't know what they're called. I know they have a name. Those circles, right? Where one circle is like, this is what I'm good at, right? This is what I have a talent on. And this is what I like to do, period. And the things that meet those two criterias, that right there, peeps, that is your gold mine, because that means that is something that you have a talent on, that you're good at, and also that you love doing. Boom. It's going to feel like you're not working at all, but you're still getting your basic needs met. Because at the end of the day, we still got to get after that. Unfortunately, we're not living in a utopia. We got to get our bills paid one way or another. So that's that. But yeah, I highly encourage you to do that. It's going to be emotional. I'm not going to lie. It was highly emotional for me, but just find the right time within your schedule, but don't procrastinate. I'm a procrastinator. So I know somebody out there procrastinating too, and like not trying to do this because maybe they're afraid of what they're going to feel. Don't procrastinate. This is very importante for you. Do it and let me know how it goes for you. I hope that you find your joy. I hope that you find your purpose, and I hope that you find your path in life that can set you up, because there is nothing better than understanding your purpose. I think it's a quote out there that is like, there's two important moments in your life: the moment that you're born, and then the moment when you realize why. Find that why and get after it. All right, peeps. Y'all are awesome for listening to this. I got so emotional, and I'm so happy that y'all are here listening to me. So thank you. And I hope you come back again for next Wednesday to hear me talk about, I think I'm going to talk about relationships again. We'll see. Stay tuned. Go on my TikTok for the Have a Cup of Jahani podcast on TikTok, and then you're going to see little sneak peeks there of what I will talk about on the next episode. New episodes every Wednesday. See you there, or be square. All right, bye.
Oh, we could fly.
Thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the show. See you on the next episode. Bye.
Oh, we could fly.